Um, I as much as we both like Ty France, for multiple reasons, I don't think they eat cow and bring him back. That would be another bad PR move in a series of bad PR moves for a long time.
Mhm.
Jorge Polanco, I think that's what we've got next is I want to talk about Jorge Polanco maybe in comparison to Gavin Lux because uh
Mhm.
he with Keem signing with the Dodgers, a lot of folks say, hey, what about Gavin Lux? They've got a surplus of infielders. The super utility thing might put a damper on that to an extent, but there was a report today, I believe, that you retweeted, Brittany, that was that the Yankees have been in on Lux and that the Mariners are heavily, they've been aggressive in their pursuit of him. I don't know what that looks like in a trade for Gavin Lux. But I don't know. I like in terms of comparing them, and I use the handy dandy little stat head thing to compare them. And obviously there's a bit of a difference in the amount of games that they've played. So you could go, oh well, there's the potential for him to do better, but you and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if we're out of time for banking on certified upgrades at this point, because if you can't trade your rotation because they know you're poor, you're kind of in this spot, at least in the second base department, because there is a certified upgrade in Pete Alonso, but you can't afford him. There's a certified upgrade available at third base in Alex Bregman, but you can't afford him. And at second base, it's kind of the options here in Polanco or Lux. Um, I mean, I don't know. Polanco makes sense. I mean, he seemed to hit better in the second half of the season, right? Obviously, he was dealing with the knee issue, and I think when the winter meetings happened, he and his agent were talking and saying he was fully healthy for the first time in a while, I believe, and that could be great. He looked a lot better at the plate the second half of the year to me. His defense obviously struggled because of his injury, but if he's not hurt anymore, that could be a big upside. And coming off of a year that wasn't as great for him and an injury, I don't think he would cost too much, right? Gavin Lux is interesting to me. I believe,
Mhm.
let me get this right. But when I went to do the little comparison thing, I believe they're the same age. So you're not necessarily, um, getting a younger, better player. You're just getting a guy who, you already know. 27. Oh, wait, no, maybe I was led astray. I was led astray. Damn it.
I was gonna say Gavin Lux should be significantly
It's
younger.
27. Polanco's 31.
Yeah, highly touted
So yeah.
prospect with the Dodgers,
Yeah.
who
What do you
came
think
up.
about that?
Yeah, he's an interesting piece. He came up as a shortstop. The Dodgers said he's going to be our shortstop. He broke camp with the big league roster. They ran him out at shortstop, and after a while said, "Nope, just kidding. You're not cut out to be a shortstop," and for good reason. And that is how we ended up with the incredible Mookie Betts, who can play everywhere at shortstop for the Dodgers. They were counting on Lux to be that guy for them, and he couldn't make it work. He didn't have the arm for it, so they moved him over to second. He had a really good second half of 2024. And I think that is what a lot of scouts projected him to be was his second half 2024. What worries me is that his ceiling, because
Hmm.
from what we've seen so far, that appears to be his ceiling. If he can repeat what he did in the second half of 2024 over the course of a season, that'd be fantastic. Um, I would love, he would come with 2 years of arbitration control. So that would be a plus. He would be relatively affordable, maybe a few million, 5, 6 million for a couple years. So the ceiling is kind of what is scary to me. Also, beggars can't be choosers. So if they could pull off a trade and not give up anything reasonably crazy for him, with the Dodgers, that'd be a great piece to fill in. The tricky thing is always the Mariners struggle to develop, improve, whatever, offensive pieces.
Yeah.
So he has kind of struggled this far. Can they get that second half 2024 out of him consistently? I don't know. He also really struggles against left-handed pitchers. He's cannot hit lefties, so you would have to platoon him. That would not be a guy that you bring in and say full-time second baseman. You would definitely have to platoon. So you're stuck with a platoon there either way. I do think he is a stronger platoon piece than the options the Mariners currently have
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. And that came through my mind too. I was like, I'd rather have a Gavin, and this is a hell of a sentence. I'd rather have Gavin Lux on a platoon than Ryan Bliss. That's
That is a
what
hell
what
of a
a
sentence.
what a world, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'd feel better
How did we
with
get here?
Demo and yeah, this is the world we're in. You know, as much
Yes.
as Keith from the YouTube comments wants me to denounce billionaires, and I'm doing that. We talk about we're poor. This is the situation that we're in because of the lack of spending. But this is a whole other discussion, and I don't want to really go down that hole. But as much as people hate him, and as much as he makes dumb comments, um, I give Jerry somewhat of a little tiny break because of the lack of spending. I feel like if they had more money, they would have fucking signed. Oh, great! There's the first one. They would have signed Pete Alonso and called it good. You know, maybe I don't because
Yeah.
there's your pop. There's an everyday first baseman. You know, it's a guy that was obviously on a winning team this last year and was pretty well loved. You know, shoot, if they had more money, I don't doubt that they'd have signed, both bookend the infield in Bregman and Alonso, but they
Right.
don't have that money. They don't have money to get one of them per the reports about payroll. I don't think those reports are false either because we're still in this conversation and they're missing out on players because of said payroll.
Mhm.
Um, so there's your comment about billionaires. I'm only half white, so don't call me a white supremacist again. Um, I don't know. And then, we talk about Polanco and Lux, and
Mhm.
yeah, if I had the option, I'll bring Polo back. I don't know. I was happier with what I saw in the second half, and if his knee is really all healed up, then I feel better about him defensively. Um, but with Lux, I wouldn't mind it, like you said, if you don't give up much, and I don't think you necessarily would have to. But if the talk about being aggressive in their pursuit of him is intriguing. I'm wondering if they're just playing around with if the Yankees want him and seeing, all right, see what we can get. Um,
Yeah. The other thing
you
I would
know,
say is that came from a Yankees, I believe, Sports Illustrated reporter who, again,
yeah,
I would
I
say
was intrigued by
it
that.
it's important to keep in mind that they all have their own motives, right?
Yeah,
So why would the Yankees want it out there that hey, we've looked into Gavin Lux, but the Mariners were, they're way stronger in on him. So um, I the what holds more weight for me is hearing from a Dodgers beat reporter
mm,
that the plan is for Mookie to play shortstop, Gavin
mm,
Lux to play second base, and to use Keem as a super utility role. So
yeah,
that is from the Dodgers beat. That is what they have said is their expressed as their plan. And until we hear a little bit more smoke from anyone in the Seattle area, in my mind, Lux is a Dodger.
yeah,
So if we look at free agents, I do think the Jorge Polanco conversation is interesting. And I tweeted this out because it's super polarizing to talk about Polo. People have really strong feelings for him, and understandably so. We have gone through the revolving door of second basemen that have
mm,
not worked out, right? So it just feels like, oh my God, here we go, another one. And rightfully so. The Mariners are in a certain situation financially. So if we are looking at who is still available, infielders, who is still available on the free agent market, what's interesting to me is looking at their projected F4 on Fangraphs. And
mm,
I pulled it up, and obviously Bregman is first highest projected F4 at 4.1. Then is Hassan Kim at 2.6. Pete Alonso is next with 2.5. And fourth on that list of highest projected F4 for 2025 season is Polanco. Projected for 1.5 F4, above Jose Iglesias, above Brendan Rodgers, above Yohan Moncada, which...
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, how about those M's?
Oh, I'm excited.
I know. Where are you going to watch all those away games, though?
Away games? Huh. I was thinking of coming here since, after all, Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports.
I love that idea. Hope to see y'all here.